What's good, YouTube? We got a little Amazon FBA Q&A. We got the TikTok live right here. We're talking about conversion and ads at the moment. So let's do 2 divided by 70. Yeah, you have less than a 3% conversion rate, noob, where so your issue probably isn't ads, but I'm curious where those clicks come from, because you're talking about all your campaigns. So it's kind of hard to put a blanket answer on all your campaigns. Okay, sweet. So 2 sales came from 1 exact keyword and 1 ASIN competitor. Okay, so that helps. Now, how many keywords do you have that are getting clicks over 15 clicks? 90% of clicks came from the exact campaign and ASIN campaign. All right, so yeah, the question is, how many broad keywords, 2 keywords getting main clicks? That means that you either A, need to segment your keywords and targets more, or B, you need to increase bids for some of your other keywords. Because once you get 15 to 20 clicks on a keyword for your PPC ads, you now have enough data to make a decision. I wish I actually had a whiteboard behind me, because I'm obviously live on YouTube, so I can't necessarily take you guys over to the whiteboard right now, because then YouTube wouldn't get the value. Let's do this. Hold on. I know what we're going to do. Give me 1 sec. Hopefully this helps everybody here, because I know a few people in here have launched products. So let me see. Hey, let's go, Drew. That's amazing, bro. Increased his conversion from 4% to 17%. And actually, it's kind of like what I'm going to show y'all right now. Because here's the thing, noob. Like, people can give you like all the PPC strategies in the world, and this goes for everybody. But you have to be able to understand how to read the data. So hold on, let me share this with YT first. Let me get out of all my tabs. I always have a million tabs open when I'm working. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys. We're going to go to, wait, why did that not share? Hold on. I don't think it's sharing it with YouTube. I don't know why. I might have to do entire screen here, which I never really like to do. Okay, hold on. I think I'll just do it, because I want YouTube to see this as well, or else I might as well just go to the whiteboard. I don't know, my screen sharing is not working with YouTube. Is it? Can somebody go on the YT chat and tell me? Or YouTube, anyone in the YouTube live, can you guys see this blank note page? Oh, you know what? Hold on, never mind. I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna just use a Google Doc. Yeah, that'll be better. And it's on my browser. There we go. Okay, sorry. Let me catch up on any questions. I'm launching like 3 products this fall, about to scale another product line to 50K to 100K revenue. Let's go, Lighthouse. Can't see it on YT. What about now, Drew? Can you see it now? I'm using a Google Doc. We're going to do a little PPC. I see it. Nice. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it, bro. All right. So let's flip the screen. Oh, my goodness. Technical difficulties. There we go. Clean the camera. Clean my desk. Okay. Here we go. All right. So let's do, will this work? No, this won't. I tried to use, okay, let's do this. I'm not going to be able to read your guys' questions right now because I can't see my phone. I have it propped up. So just give me a sec. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, sweet. Making it work. Even though I have a phone stand, but it really does suck. I keep saying I need to buy a new one. So I also can't see my keyboard. All right, keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3, keyword 4, and then keyword 5. All right. So let's say that we're running 5 keywords in a PPC ad campaign. Whoopsies. You guys can see this, right? Oh, no, you can't see it that good. There we go. Better. All right. So we're running 5 keywords in a PPC ad campaign. And I'm going to get to everybody's questions, but we're going to do a little masterclass. So let's say that keyword 1 is getting 25 clicks. And then keyword 2 is getting, actually, let's do 15 clicks. Keyword 3 is 2 clicks. Keyword 4, 1 click. And then keyword 5, 0 clicks. This is for Amazon PPC ads, all right? So with keyword 1, let's say this is one of the ones that got 1 sale. Oops, I'm so bad at this. 1 sale, 0 sales. Also, let me make this bigger for you guys. Sorry. Oh, no, I did not just do that. There we go. Let me make this bigger for you guys. All right. You guys can hopefully see it better, right? Yes. Okay. And then here we have 0 sales. That's not a 0, that's an O. 0 sales and 0 sales. Also, YT, if there are comments, no, there's not. We're good. Can't see the YT comments when I'm sharing my screen. All right. So with keyword 2, with keyword 1, depending on what your ACoS is, you may have to make some bid adjustments, but this is a low conversion rate, right? So if we took 1 divided by 25, you guys can see the calculator. Yes, you can. That's a 4% conversion. So you're not converting well, but I wouldn't necessarily turn this off because you're still getting data on sales. That's where you can do some bid adjustments, but that's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on your PPC ads. Now we have keyword 2, 15 clicks, 0 sales. Now, if we 2x our sales or our clicks here at the same conversion, we would have 30 clicks. We're not going to all of a sudden get 5 sales with these 30 or an extra 15 clicks, because we have the data here that shows us that after 15 clicks, we're not converting. And then these 3, they're not even getting any clicks. We don't even have data for these. Excuse me. Okay. So what would I do in a scenario like this? Well, this is going to show me that my conversion is low. So the biggest thing is that I would want to do is optimize my conversion rate. And the way that I would do that is by optimizing my title, my bullet points, my description, my A+ content, main image, all of the things. Because you guys, I'm sure, have heard my billboards analogy when it comes to Amazon ads. If you're getting clicks, like keyword 2 right here, if you're getting clicks, the ad is doing its job. It is successfully doing its job. Now, no, you're not getting any sales. So it's like, okay, well, we don't want that. But the ad itself is doing its job. It's your listing that is not doing its job, whether that's, again, your reviews, your images, your infographics, all of that. So what I would do here is I would probably segment keyword 1 into its own campaign. Oopsies. Now, I wouldn't turn it off, okay? Because this one is the only one that has data in Amazon, or at least sales data, and Amazon loves data. Keyword 2, we're not converting very well. Or we're not converting at all. Keyword 3, 4, and 5, we don't even have clicks because keyword 1 is taking up a majority of the budget. So we don't even know if these keywords will convert. 2 clicks is not enough to tell. 1 click is not enough to tell. And obviously 0 clicks is not enough to tell. So what I would do is I'd probably turn off keyword 2. This is temporarily. And then with keyword 3 through 5, let's change the color to blue. With keyword 3 through 5, I would turn these off, but I would go put them into their own campaign, right? Because, and the reason why we're turning keyword 2 off is I've showed this example before, but I'm going to show it again. All right, it's kind of hard to type with these bracelets on. So we have, let's say we have 100 clicks on a product. I always use this example, but I do think that it's helpful. So actually, let's say that product price is $20, okay? And then our cost per click, which is how much we pay for every click that we get on ads, is $1. And if there are questions being answered or asked right now, I can't see them, but I'm going to get to everyone's questions, so don't worry. Don't think that I'm ignoring this. We only got like 5 more minutes of this, and then I'll get back to questions. So here's our main data. We have a $20 product, just to keep the numbers simple, and a $1 cost per click. So if we have 100 clicks at a 5%, we'll just do CVR, which is conversion rate. That equals that equals 5 sales. It's very hard to do this with the setup I'm using. Anyway, so that's 5 sales. So with 100 clicks, that would be $100 in spend divided by $100 in sales, because remember, $20 product, 5 sales. This would equal a 100% ACoS. We are not profitable with our ads here. But kind of like Drew was talking about, how Drew had increased his conversion just by adding a video on his listing. And there's a lot of things. If anything, today, if we get to, I don't know what the likes are at, but if we get to 4K likes and 20 shares, we're at 4 shares right now. If we get to 4K likes and 20 shares, we'll go over optimizing a product listing. So now let's say, with our new example, let's change our color here. Let's go red. So now let's say same product, same cost per click. We get 100 clicks, but this time we make optimizations to our listing and we increase our conversion. We're not changing any of the other data. So instead of, it's from going from a 5% conversion, let's say, just to keep the numbers simple, we go to a 20% conversion. CVR is conversion rate. That would equal 20 sales. So at our $1 cost per click, which is $100 in spend, divided by, now that we have 20 sales, 20 times 20, 400, that's $400 in sales. That would equal a 25% ACoS. I forgot to put ACoS here. ACoS. This, you are likely profitable on your ads. So we made no change to our cost per click. We didn't lower our product price. We didn't even change anything in terms of the data on our PPC ads. But in this example, we are probably losing money. And in this example, we are profitable. So we want to have at least, let's scroll down a little bit more. Let's change our color. You guys can see green, right? It's kind of hard. I think you guys can see that, right? Yeah, you can. Okay, keep having to like turn my head. Sorry, YouTube. When you see me going like this, I'm trying to see the phone screen for TikTok. So you want to get anywhere from, if you're going to be conservative, 10 clicks, but honestly, a more realistic answer is 15 to 20 clicks to make a decision on a keyword. Okay? With keyword 3 through 5, we do not have enough data to make a decision on these keywords. So that's why I said segment them into their own campaign. Keyword 1 and 2 are getting a majority of the clicks, but keyword 2 is not converting for us. Keyword 1 is converting, but it's still a low conversion rate. So that's where optimizing your bids. Oops, did I not spell optimizing right? Optimizing your bids is going to be key. Now, the thing about optimizing your bids is you may change your placement. It's more of putting a band-aid on the issue, although you should always be making bid optimizations. The big kicker, and this is the thing, like this right here, the reason why I always show this formula is why most people lose money on Amazon PPC ads. Because they think, oh, I'm just going to launch my ads, and as soon as I launch them, I get sales. And then when they don't get sales, they're like, Amazon PPC doesn't work. But it's like, no, your product's not converting. Fix this issue, and all your PPC problems go away, right? So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Little masterclass, little TikTok masterclass on PPC. What are your thoughts on Amazon removing the prep and labeling service in 2026? Doesn't affect me at all. I don't have Amazon prep and label my products, so it's, literally makes no difference to me. I'm figuring out whether my ads needs work or my product offering or both. It's slightly seasonal. Seasonal is not the best. There are products that have more peak seasons than other months. That's okay. I wouldn't like seasonal like a Christmas ornament, but like we have products, not on this account, but we have products where, between like March and May, it's usually like our maybe like February to May, February, March, April, May. Yeah, maybe like February to May, we see lower sales. And then once we kind of get into summer, they just really pick up. Hey, we got class in session. Yes, sir. This is very similar to my exact situation already. I appreciate the help. By the way, this is free game. It costs is 50% on keyword 1. Yeah, so bid adjustment, and honestly, like exactly what I just showed. So the problem is my listing, probably. I see. So you harvest successful keywords in its own campaign, but leave the original on, different bid size. Yes. David, thank you so much for the follow. Lost, good to see you. Thank you for sharing the live. Noob, thank you for sharing the live. Drew, thank you for sharing the live. I definitely need to make my conversion better. Yes, 100%. 100%. That was amazing. Thank you. Of course. Bro, I'm so confused. I got 8 sales yesterday and today 1. That's good. Also not necessarily great. The thing is, you just don't have Let's show another example, shall we? Let's see, what product do we want to, actually, let's do this one. Claw machine for kids. All right, let me share the screen to YT. And then let me show you this. So this is going to be the reason why you guys might see inconsistent sales in the beginning. Okay. So let's take, let me see. Let me just scroll through here for a second. Let's find, actually, this is a great example. Ready for this? So we have this claw machine for kids, 2 reviews. We see that it's sponsored right here, right? Now let's just double check and make sure that I'm going to give a proper example. I just want to scroll through all the products on page 1. Make sure that that one's not ranking organically on page 1. Hold on. Let's make sure. Okay, it is. Bad example. Let's pretend this wasn't here, just for example's sake. So let's say that one day you're running PPC ads and you have a great day, like 8 sales, but it's mainly from ad traffic. Now, maybe the next day, somebody outbids you. Somebody increases their cost per click. Because remember, and let's say that your ad was top of search. You can check this in the placement tabs. Now, there's 4 top of search placements for your PPC ads right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, so the next day, you're down at rest of search. So that would be ads down here. More results, sponsored, sponsored, sponsored. Okay. And there's a lot of other placements. And then you don't rank anywhere organically on page 1. Well, now your placement, this is important to also track where your ads appear on the page. No, I wouldn't. Noob, just for the record, I only show products that I would not actually sell on Amazon. So if I ever show it, it means I would never launch it, nor would I ever recommend any of you to launch it. So if you're not appearing anywhere else on the page, your PPC ad placement changed, and then you're not ranked organically, that's going to be a huge, huge, huge indicator as to why your sales data is so different from one day to the next. But then if you're like this listing here, so we have this first listing, 700 bought in the last month. Yeah, they have a top search placement, but they're also ranked number 2 organically. So they're going to see consistent sales, even if maybe one day they're not at top of search placement, assuming that they have a good PPC ad strategy, because they're here, right? So established product is going to be the biggest reason as to why you are successful. Let me show one more thing. Let's pull up our Helium 10 X-ray tool. Here we go. And let's organize it by parent level revenue. So look at the drop-offs, the lower you get down on the page, right? 200K to 65K, 65K to 48K, 39 to 35, 35 to 33. And then when you get down to like top 20, maybe somewhere around here, I'm not going to count them out. You get down to 9K. That's because the higher you are on page 1 and the better your PPC ad strategy is. Now, I'm organizing it by parent level revenue. This isn't necessarily the organic rank, just a side note. But I would assume that the ones who are doing better are the ones who are ranked higher. So the further you get down, the smaller the revenue numbers get, right? So let's do this. Let's organize it by number. So look, these are the guys who are last on the page. 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, 2,700, 2,600, 0. Now, yeah, you have somebody here, 12K. Okay, they're ranked a little towards the bottom. They're probably running PPC pretty heavily. But then same thing, 2K, 2,800, 1,300. The further you go down on the page, the less revenue. Meanwhile, when we look at, look, this is the one that we just saw. He's ranked number 2, and he's doing 65K. He's literally the second highest revenue. Here's the number 1. I'm not even organizing it by revenue. They are making the most. So that is where the better your organic rank is, the better your sales are going to be. The two biggest things that you need for a successful product on Amazon: a good conversion rate and a high organic rank. Let's see. If Valentine's Day doesn't slap, I will slash this product. Is it based around Valentine's Day, noob? Because that could be another reason, bro. Like if it's like, trying to think of a Valentine's Day product. If it's like I love you mug, for example, you're not necessarily going to convert for that right now versus converting for it towards a holiday like or not holiday, but a day like Valentine's Day. How do you set your CPC for a keyword? How do you tell where your ad is getting placed? At the end of the day, it's kind of like guessing where you first put it, because Amazon's suggested bid is a load of nonsense, to be honest with you. I have a video in my drafts on TikTok, so y'all make sure to stay tuned for it. But I do have a video where I show how nonsense it is. But so it's kind of like a guessing. Your guess is as good as mine. But then you can see where your ads are appearing by tracking your ads manually, and then also going into the placement tab on your PPC ad manager and seeing, are a majority of my clicks coming from top of search? If you're not getting any top of search clicks, then that means your bid is too low, because top of search is going to be the most expensive placement. Are a majority of your clicks coming from product pages? That would indicate that my bids are a little low because product placement ads are cheaper. And then rest of search is, you're probably in that mid range. It's electronic. Yes, no electronic products. True. Didn't think about this. Had a 78 clicks yesterday with a CTR of 1.34. Might be good if I hire my bids. How do we start? Step 1, create an Amazon seller account. Step 2, get a product research software, find a product to sell. How do we check if new sellers are making money? You would use the Helium 10 X-ray extension that I just showed, and then filter it by low reviewed sellers. So set the filter to like 200 max reviews, and then you can start seeing all the sellers on page 1 who are performing well. You need a lot of money to start. Nope, I don't agree with that, Tor. Also, nope, nobody, I don't agree with that either. I've never launched a product. 40 plus products, including variations. I've never launched a product for 10K. So no, that is also not necessarily the case. Probably 95% of the products that I've launched under 6K. Hey Luke, finally have time to get back into FBA, having trouble with product research. Any tips? It's a numbers game, Blonded. Just keep looking, brother. I'm pretty sure you've seen my videos on product research. We've done product research on the lives before. You know what to look for. You know what not to look for. Just keep doing it. Different methods, different categories, Helium 10 black box, Amazon search method. Claren, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, you guys, I mean, if people are asking questions, if you're going to give them an answer, well, number one, respectfully, I do appreciate everybody in the live. People probably want to hear the answer from me. And second, if you're going to give them information, you have to take your emotion out of it, right? And you have to give people analytical information. And the analytical information is that it does not cost more than 10K to launch a product on Amazon. Unless you're going and buying more than 10K worth of inventory, which I would never recommend. 100 to 300 units. Unless you're selling a product where the cost of goods are $100, you're not going to get near there. What product has a cost of goods of $100? You're talking anywhere from $5 to, even on the high end, $20. Even if I had a $20 cost of goods, that's still only 2K on inventory. Even if I order 200 units, that's 4K on inventory. But I'm not necessarily launching products with a $20 cost of goods. Last product that I launched, $11 cost of goods, $3 per unit shipping cost, 300 units, all in. And because we had to get a $500 lab test, we spent $3,900. Cost of goods, shipping, 300 units. So I don't understand how it would cost 10K or more to launch a product. Let's even add, let's say I wanted to get brand registered, 1,000. Okay, now I'm at 4,900. Now I need samples, another 100. Okay, now I'm at 5K. Now I get a product inspection, 5,200. And then depending on how I create my listing, few $100, unless you're going with like a premium service. Let's say you do use a premium service, $1,000. You're still at 6K. That's why I tell people 3 to 6K to launch a product on Amazon. That's what I just said. I said, even if you go for a premium listing creation service, $1,000, you're still at 6K. So yeah, analytical information, you guys. No, I don't know who that is. See, I don't pay attention to other people who make content, to be honest with you. Mainly because I end up getting upset. There's a few people who I do check out their content sometimes, and I appreciate the information that they're giving. But I'm in I don't know. That'll sound arrogant. Can you help me start? I mean, that's what these lives are about, bro. That's what all my videos are about. User 76 or 78, thank you so much for the follow. So I have a lot of free videos. I do these lives for free. If you notice, we answer every single question in the live. But if you wanted my direct help, that's where the mentorship comes in. I give away all the information for free. But for those who wanted the direct access to me, everything in one place, that's the, for any questions about the mentorship, y'all hop on a call with my team. For established how do you to grow organically? You got to get sales. To get organic rank, you need sales. That's why conversion is the most important metric on Amazon. You can't run PPC profitably and get sales efficiently if you don't have a good conversion rate. If you don't have a good conversion rate and you can't get sales, then it's going to be much more difficult to rank or grow your product organically. like I said, see, any questions about the mentorship, hop on a call with my team. I needed at least 1 million to start, to be honest. You're funny, sheep. For established products. Oops, I accidentally sent somebody an invite. Please don't accept it, or else I have to, unfortunately, block you to get you out of the live. So sorry. I don't know why TikTok. It's so, yeah, that drives me mad. That TikTok just puts random invite buttons in my chat as I'm trying to scroll down. I don't want to invite anyone to live. For established products, what percentage of your sales come from organic for PPC? This account, like more than 70% of our sales are organic, where we don't pay for them. We spend a lot on PPC, but we also make a lot in top line revenue. So do you do one-on-one mentorship? Yes, there's a lot of one-on-one within my program. When people say one-on-one, it depends on what you're talking about, Grant, because it doesn't make sense for either one of our schedules for me to hop on a call with you and walk you through how to create an Amazon account, right? That can be put in a video and then you just follow along the video. But in terms of like direct access to me to ask any proprietary questions, that's very one-on-one. Having a one-on-one Zoom call with me, that's very one-on-one. And then there's other little one-on-one aspects. Hold on. Sick. TikTok just put me on timeout. Right now, I'm like 90% PPC sales, starting to gain organic rank, but it has been slow. Yeah, in the beginning, a majority of your sales, your sales are going to come from Amazon PPC. That's normal for any product or any new product. So that's totally okay. Even with my CTR being that high, I would change my main image to see if CVR will improve. Yeah, conversion is huge. Just if you have a good CTR, that's good. But a good CTR with a bad CVR conversion rate, it's not necessarily going to move the ball for you in the way that you would want it to. It has been painfully expensive. I didn't account for how much costs for PPC. It's only expensive because you're losing money on ads. The payout lag, the account level reserves, that is something that's kind of a shocker for people to deal with, Drew, to be honest. But in terms of PPC, your margin should be able to support PPC. If you're heavily in the red on your PPC ads, that's, but you also just saw, Drew, like you had a 4% conversion. That's why you were probably heavily in the red. See how your conversion influences it now that you have a above 15% conversion. Because you'd never want to let ads get into the red to the point where you're just forking up a bunch of capital to Amazon. That's not the game. The game is to increase your conversion. This is why I start so conservatively and so small with my PPC ads. I'm not betting the house on my initial data. I'm starting small, collecting that data, making adjustments based on it. So then, because let me put it this way. You're not going to have $50 a day budgets on your PPC campaigns because that's not going to do anything for you if you're not converting well. Because PPC conversion is going to be a direct correlation of your organic conversion for the most part. So Amazon's not going to put you at the top of page 1 if you can't necessarily convert organically from the start. Luke, you think I should do top of search adjustments for a day to see how that'll affect sales? You can try, but it's that same thing. Like if you're in the red because you have a low conversion, just because like having high sales days might look pretty, but it doesn't do much for you if you're losing money. I would rather have less sales and be profitable than have a bunch of sales and be in the red. So it's really going to just be a, like I said, it's always a conversion play. Conversion. Most important metric when you are running Amazon PPC ads and just selling on Amazon in general. Also, y'all, I posted some gem TikTok videos today, so make sure y'all go show them some love. Absolute gem videos, products that I avoid selling on Amazon, why your product isn't selling on Amazon. That might be a good video for some, and when you should get brand registered. I made the mistake of launching a seasonal product and the season is nearing end. Yes, that is indeed a mistake, but you learn from those mistakes. So you'll learn from that, and on your next product, you're not going to go launch a seasonal product. Last thing I got to get is CBR. If I get that, I'll be crushing it. Having a hard time though. Listing optimization and review. Sheep, you know the drill. And it's about testing a lot of things. Like I think people get emotional in the changes that they make, and that's okay, but it's kind of we'll call it a rookie move. I think that this is going to do better. I'm a blank slate with any optimizations that I make. Like, yeah, I'm hopeful, but the only way to tell is through the data. So if the data shows that it's a good change, then that's good. If the data doesn't, I'm ready to make another optimization quick. Like speed answers all problems in the market. So this is the game that y'all want to be playing, making fast optimizations. I call it proactive optimizations. If you make an optimization once every 3 weeks, you're in the red, that's not necessarily going to do anything for you. But if you're making these proactive optimizations, often collecting data, optimize, test, repeat. Optimize, test, repeat. It's just a constant cycle. So that is the game that y'all want to be playing. Yeah, got that. I think beat out already really fast the past 2 weeks. That's good. That's good. You don't want to think. I think. The data. What does the data tell me? So there's nothing wrong with that. You're new in the game and you're learning the game. So I think that's a positive thing. It's like the Chinese parable. Good, bad, maybe. Anybody know the Chinese parable that I'm talking about? You can never say something that is ultimately good or ultimately bad or you know what I mean? Beneficial. I legit wrote down for myself that I think is not a valid reason anymore. I love that. I actually really like that sheep. I'll leave. We'll start to close out on this thought. Let me read this. It's Chinese proverb, not parable. Sorry. I'll try to read it. I'll read it fast. So it's about the Chinese farmer. Once upon a time, there was a Chinese farmer whose horse ran away. That evening, all of his neighbors came around to commiserate. They said, "We are so sorry to hear that your horse ran away. This is the most unfortunate." The farmer said, "Maybe." The next day, the horse came back bringing 7 wild horses with it. And in the evening, everybody came back and said, "Oh, isn't that so lucky? What a great turn of events. You now have 8 horses." The farmer again said, "Maybe." The following day, his son tried to break one of the wild horses in, and while riding it, he fell and broke his leg. The neighbor said, "Oh dear, that's too bad." And the farmer responded, "Maybe." The next day, the officers came around to conscript people into the army, and they rejected his son because he had a broken leg. Again, all of the neighbors came around and said, "Isn't that great?" Again, he said, "Maybe." And the whole story essentially is just like, I think this is, people want to, I think maybe it's great, it's good, it's bad, it's not good, it's good. Just follow the data. Just follow the data. You have to almost take your emotions out of the equation. And that in the long run is going to help much more. I am not what I think, I am what I do. Yes, I also like that one too. Hey, that rhyme, Dr. Seuss up in here. So always follow the data, ladies and gentlemen. The data is your friend. This is another reason why I love being brand registered on Amazon. You get access to brand metrics, brand analytics, the search query performance report. These are huge, and they're going to help you in the long run make better decisions for your product and for your brand. Now, on that note, everybody, make sure y'all go show some love to the last few videos and to check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship. I hope YouTube, this will be the last live for a few days because I'm going on another trip. TikTok, I'll still be going live, so don't y'all worry. Make sure to check out the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education, the AMZ Masterclass. I hope you all have a blessed day, a blessed night, and I will see y'all soon.